This is Mr. ETV20, and this is a review on Super Mario Bros. For the NES. Now, I already know that you guys already know what, the Super Mario Bros. Really is. So, why would I be reviewing it? Well, I want to get started on this whole reviewing thing, and for your pleasure. And I think that I should start strong with such a well-known game. Just for practice. So I'm going to be giving my own personal satisfactions and dissatisfactions for this game. So, without any further ado, let's begin. First off, I want to talk about the most important thing in a video game, the gameplay. The gameplay in this game is very simplistic, even for an NES game. Now, you have your running, jumping. Well, that's pretty much it. They probably dumbed down the controls because they thought that gamers were a little too stupid, I guess? I don't know why they would make it so simplistic. I mean, I'm sure they could have fit a little more buttons somewhere. Other things to join the mix would be the infamous Fire Flower, which gives you an extra boost in, well, exactly that, firepower. It has great, nearly unlimited range, and you can shoot 2 at a time to take down 2 Goombas for the price of 1. You also have the infamous Mushroom ability that gives you the superpower of, well, growing twice your size. I'm not sure what the developers actually had planned for this, or exactly why such a trippy design, I guess you can say that, was implemented, but its use is that it gives you 1 more free hit. May I remind you that throughout the whole game, you can only get hit twice and you die. That's a pretty steep learning curve right there. Personally, I couldn't beat the game for a damn. It was just that hard for me. Not being able to be hit twice, of course. You are also granted a star power-up that pretty much makes you a god in the entire game. It nerfs everyone, and with a single touch, you defeat pretty much anything that's movable in your way. Throughout the game, you do find breakable blocks that do allow you to obtain these items to progress through the game with ease. And finally, scattered throughout the game, you do have invisible blocks that more than likely contain green mushrooms. These mushrooms are 1-ups, which gives you an extra life throughout the game. Getting 1-ups can be obtained by collecting 100 coins or the infamous 1-up trick. Now, with every game, it also comes with its own variety of enemies for you to fight. The first and lowest class of enemies are Goombas. They're little mushroom guys who have things and are, well, generally harmless. The game doesn't really tell you how to defeat them, but the first thing you might think of is jumping on them, since that's the only thing you really can do in the game. And lo and behold, that's how you defeat them. Quite simple, really. The same thing can be done with the next group of enemies, Koopas. You're going to be finding these guys a lot more often throughout the later stages. More specifically, the green Koopas, well, they just walk off cliffs, while the red Koopas are just a little bit smarter and turn the other way. Green Koopas can also somehow evolve and grow wings. You also have these black light Koopas that don't seem to come out of their shells. I believe they're called Buzzy Beetles or Fuzzy Beetles. I don't really know. All I know is that they are really the most unimportant enemy and the least iconic enemy to me in Mario. To name a few, you have to say Bullet Bills. Well, now since I think about it, there are a little too many enemies all throughout Mario. I'm just going to say that between Goombas, Koopas, Bullet Bills, and many more, let's just say that there are a lot of enemies for you to face in the Mario world. And needless to say, most of them can be dealt with accordingly with just, well, jumping on their heads. Yes, even the Bullet Bills. I'm not sure if they are just really, really slow bullets, or Mario is hell, faster than a speeding bullet. I guess we'll never know. Now, the story of this game is, well, generally non-existent. You see, this pretty much starts the whole cliche of video games that you have to save the princess. I suppose it all started with Mario, or at least Donkey Kong. If you want to call that woman on top of the building a princess, I guess. And after traversing the incredibly dangerous world that is the Super Mario Bros. Universe, otherwise known as the Mushroom Kingdom, tracing over to Bowser's unwanted kingdom with the black sky and everything, Mario defeats all imposters, saves the many damsels in distresses that aren't Princess Peach, or Princess Toadstool in this game I suppose, and finally defeats the infamous Bowser, the tyrant of the land, and saves the princess. And that's pretty much it. The end. This is a story you wouldn't even tell your children, guys. But that wouldn't mean much, because I suppose that the gameplay is simplistic, for better or for worse. And I suppose for most people, they had their amount of fun for whatever reason. Although this game is known to be one of the greatest old school games of all time, I do have my gripes with it though. One is the fact that it's so freaking hard. Now, I like to call myself an average, if not a little bit more hardcore gamer, but when I see Super Mario Bros. And I try to play it, I can't help but find it a little unfair that you can only get hit twice at most and then die on the third hit. Oh, no, not even the third hit actually. My bad. The second hit. In each world, you have to anticipate anything and everything that's coming your way and not get hit. Not to mention that you have to go through about, what, 20, 30 worlds? Well, 30 levels to beat the game. By the end of World 9, I just think that going through the whole course without getting hit twice is a little much to ask. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people who actually, beat the whole game in one sitting are looking at me and saying, what a pussy, but hey, I guess that's what modern games do. Which also brings me to another gripe. This game has no save feature. I mean, I know that it's old and stuff, but geez, they are asking me a lot as a gamer to not get hit twice, go through all these levels, assuming you don't know where the warp pipes are, and to beat the game. Without, all in one sitting actually. That's what you have to do. You have to do it in one sitting. Without stopping, maybe pausing the game and getting a drink, but you can't sleep it over and save. I just think that's really a horrible game design. Now, I suppose that I have not much to say about the two-player mode of this game. Yes, there is a two-player mode, which is where you can play as the Green Mario, otherwise known as Luigi. Yeah, he's kind of a coward, so I'm not sure why you always want to play as player 2. I guess you can give that to your little brother or something, because no one really wants to play as Luigi. Come on, let's just get that out of the way. But even if you do, you're probably going to die in World 1-1, based on Luigi's pure failure. All joking aside, you do have to play the game not simultaneously trying to save the princess, but taking turns as if in a race. I don't really find this way of doing things really enjoyable. I mean, I suppose that you can't really do much considering its time period, but I much rather the way Super Mario Bros. Wii does it and, have you play simultaneously. I just wish they did that from the start. But I wonder how that would have looked. Total chaos, I bet. Fun, but total chaos. So, considering everything I said, I'm going to have to give this game, for its time, and for the nostalgia of now, an 8.8 out of 10. That's pretty good. Alright guys, that's pretty much enough of me. So, if you liked what you heard, and you did, why don't you go around and check out my channel. I have a lot of cool stuff like this going around, you know, real cool stuff. Or if you don't feel like doing that, why don't you just click on down on the like button, you know, help the channel a lot. So, without any further ado, I'm gonna get going, and as always, enjoy your next video.